Oh boy, this is new. I'm just trying it out. I'm just trying it out to see what will happen. Like if people show up, because I'm really just trying it out right now. Let me see if I can put it. So they can put it here. And see what happens. Let's see. Because I'm trying to, I don't know if you guys can see me on YouTube or not. I don't know. Let's see who shows up. I don't know. There it is. There it is. Normally I don't like being on screen, but we're going to try it out. See, because now I can't see. That's okay. We're going to learn. We're going to figure it out. Because I can see myself on the iPad, but I can't see myself on the laptop. These multiple streaming platforms just drive me crazy. There's 3 people watching. So here's what I'm going to do. Because I don't want to have to sit here and figure out how to do the video. I don't want to do that. And I'm not even in my own space right now. I'm just experimenting with this new platform that I have to try and work it out. There's 3 people here. Oh, look at that. Well, hello. Sonia? Is that how I say your name? I don't know. So what I'm going to attempt to do to make this video work, or else I'll have to turn off video and just go with voice. Because I'm just testing it out right now. Let me see if I can put myself into do not disturb on my iPad. You guys can tell me if you can see me clearly, because I'm experimenting to try and see before we get started what you guys can see in the video or not see in the video, you know. Yeah. So we're just going to practice streaming on YouTube with this new platform that I have. But again, I don't know. Like, I'm not even at my own space right now. I move in about a week. Yay. And I'm so excited about that. Good. I'm glad you can see me clearly, Sonia. It's been a very long time since I've streamed on YouTube because they changed how you can stream. Now you need another device or a program to stream, whereas before you could just stream live, right? But they've changed all those things. And so I thought, let me try this out. So the whole point of this is to experiment, because I haven't done it in a long time, because normally I'm on Fanbase and Twitter, and I haven't been on Clubhouse in a while or Wisdom in a while, but I've been, every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern, and midnight Eastern, I am on Twitter or Fanbase. That's where people can find me. And so I thought I was just going to do something impromptu to answer any questions that people may have about, if you saw my last post on YouTube, it is about offering mentoring for people who are interested in applying the 7 Hermetic principles to to their lives. Hi, Oyela. Yay, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Yeah. So I just wanted to offer that to people, like if they have questions or concerns about whatever's going on in their daily lives. And let me tell you, it's very interesting because now I'm coaching someone who doesn't speak any English. Thank you for Google Translator, right? That's what it is. And I'm loving that because now I can say to I always knew I was international because of the people that I meet from all over the world. But now to actually interact with them and to know that I actually have to use Google Translator, it's great. I'm loving it. Um, let me see here. Let me type in here. Because I can't. So go here. That's my website, positivelyangela.com. And when you go to positivelyangela.com, there's something called Contact Us. Go there. I can't, if I move here, I lose what I am. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Let me open that up and go here. Let me see, just to make it easy for people. It's, there you go. There you go. I'm waiting for the toolbar to load here. Yeah. Think of your questions, what you want assistance with, because part of that mentoring, what I'm getting from you, I'm giving you the link so you can send me your telephone number so I can add you to the WhatsApp group because I'm in there every day answering questions from that different people have, right? Uh, bear with me. It's so slow. Right? It's so slow. And me, technology just bothers me sometimes. So contact us. And let me go here like that and go copy and go here. And let me post it here. That's the link. And then you can send me an email privately with your phone number. And what I tell people is if they want to be part of mentoring, because this is all I do, right? So I tell people they can donate. Some people donate $2. Some people donate $5. People donate what they want, right? So I don't say what you should or should not donate. That is up to you. Um, just waiting for that link to load so that people can use that link. Paste. And there's the link for PayPal that people can set up a recurring donation if they want to. But I'll wait for your phone number, Sonia, because it is more and more people are coming and asking, what are these 7 principles? You know, what do I do? How do I maneuver? And really and truly, what it is because we've never really been taught how to do it, ever. We've just been taught go here, get advice from that person, do this, get advice there. It's never look within. And I can say look within all I want, but until you know actually how to look within and not be intimidated by looking within, then it becomes easier. It's a habit, you know. It truly is a habit. Bear with me. Ooh. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. If you have a question, regarding the 7 principles of creation or anything, because this, like I said, this was just impromptu for me to just jump on here and test it out and see if I'm doing it right. Um, so that's what this is. If you have questions, ask away. I know it says there's 4 people watching. I don't know. I know 2 of you, Oyela and Sonia. I know those 2 are there, but I don't know who the others are. I don't know who the others are. I am almost tempted to, because like I say, I'm online 7:30 a.m. Eastern in the morning, right? For the morning inspiration. I'm tempted to launch it here as well. But then I can't be on Fanbase because I'm already using the iPad. So I don't know how I would do it, right? And so I'm just testing it out, you know. I might have to just use my phone. I've got it sorted now. I know how I'll do it. I'll experiment in the morning as well, um, to do this, but I will not be on video in the morning, just so you know. Okay, that's early. I'm not going to be combing my hair for that. I can't handle that. You know, that early morning. My voice is fine early morning, but looking presentable, I am still in a onesie. Okay, so y'all have to deal with that. So I won't be showing my face. Dimensions of J. Hello. Welcome to the space. Welcome, welcome, welcome. um, yes. So it's good to see all of you here. You know, it really truly is. Let me look at this and see. Oh, yeah, it's good to see everyone here. Do you have any questions about the 7 principles, the 7 Hermetic principles? Do you know what they are? Have you, you know what? We do know what they are unconsciously because they're part of us, right? The law of mentalism. The all is mind. Every time you turn around in today's day and age, you're hearing mental health, mental health, mental health. But mental health is recognizing that the universe is a mental creation. There is only mental health. Well, how do you get physical health? By mental health. Oh, yes, right? This is what it is. And a lot of people don't know this. The law of mentalism, or the principle of mentalism, tells you that the universe is a mental creation. Everything that you experience is a mental creation. Whose mental creation? Yours, right? Ah, you see, Sonia, this is a beautiful statement that you just made. Let us elaborate on it. I have been trying to go within, but I am easily distracted. A couple days ago, was it Friday? The morning inspiration was, or was it today? Put in the work. It's only mental work. Because you are easily distracted does not mean you stay easily distracted. It is through practice. So I did a class this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern called the visualization exercise. Here's how it works to help you, Sonia. Here's how it will help you. If I say to you, think of your favorite color, right? Or McDonald's, or a Tesla. If I say to you, think of something, right? And I tell you what to think of. If I say McDonald's, do you see the golden arches? Can you see them? Answer me that question. If I say, think of your favorite color, can you see it in your mind? Answer me that question. Once you answer that question, then we'll go to the next step to help you not be easily distracted. Yes? Yes, I'm going to teach them to you in a moment, Sonia, but answer me the question. If I tell you, if I say, Sonia, I want you to think of your favorite color, can you see it right here? Can you see it in your mind? If I say, well, think of McDonald's, can you see the golden arches? If I say, think of a butterfly, can you see it in your mind? Answer me that. Well, I'm waiting for you to answer. Because then we can move, and then we'll get into the 7 principles. Does that make sense? Okay. If you can see the image in your mind of the butterfly, of the golden arches, exactly. Now, don't just say red, but if you can see the color red, hold it there. Keep seeing the color red in your imagination. Keep seeing it. Just keep seeing it. And when it or if it begins to fade and you cannot see it anymore, that means you're distracted, right? So what do? You breathe in through the nose and you exhale through the nose, right? Because you want to keep the body calm. When the body is calm, you can maintain your focus. But if you find that you're thinking about, okay, I know I'm supposed to be seeing red in my mind, but I gotta wash the dishes. I gotta iron some clothes. If that is where your mind is, stop. Breathe in through the nose, exhale through the nose, and go back to seeing the color red. Every time you get distracted, just go back to seeing the color red. And the more you go back to seeing the color red, the longer you'll be able to stay focused upon the color red. You don't just stop partway through and go, oh, I'm easily distracted, I'm done. No, the only work required is mental. It's okay. I understand that now, Sonia. I understand. Um, I'm so used to Twitter now, where they can, or fan base, and they can speak right away. But I'm picking it up. But does that make sense? Having the ability, if you can call up your favorite thing and see it in your mind and be able to hold the image in your mind, here's why you're going to hold the image in your mind. It's just like a photocopy machine, right? You put the image on top of the glass, you close the lid, and you hit copy or you hit start, right? If you open up the glass and remove it right away before you hit copy, what happens? The paper that comes out, it's part white and then black on the other side, on the bottom, and there's no image. That's what happens when we get distracted from holding the image, when we're practicing our visualization to manifest. If you take your attention away from the thing, the image that you're holding in your mind, and you hit copy, but your attention is not on it, you can't recreate it. No. This is why the practice of holding, not only holding the image, but calling the image into your mind. Call the image in. But something beautiful happens when you call the image into your mind. The second step from there is to interact with the image, first person. So you're going to touch it. What's red? Is it a red shirt? Is it red shoes? Is it a red hat? Right? So now you begin to interact with the image. You touch it first, because when you're in first person, you can only see your hands. If you play video games, my son had to teach me this because I was like, first person, what is that? He says, Mom, let me show you. So in his video game, he could switch between first person and third person. Third person, he could watch his body moving and doing the actions, right? But in first person, you can't see your body. You can only see your hands when you touch something. First person, you're interacting with it. You're not watching yourself do it. You're interacting. So now you get to interact with the thing that is in your mind. And the more you interact with it, because you're holding the image on top of the glass of the photocopier. When you hit copy, what are you going to get? You're going to get that same thing that you were holding in your mind and interacting with. You're going to interact with it outside in the real world in your 3D. This is why things like unforgiveness and being upset with someone for hurting you is a double-edged sword, because you are holding it and you're interacting with it. Oh, you hurt me. You deserve to be punished. You don't know what I had to go through. You don't know what you did to me. And all you're doing is hitting copy, copy, copy. And what comes out the other end? That same frustration and hurt that you're holding right here. That's what's happening. Now, let's get into the 7 principles. What I just said, does that make sense? Or do you need more elaboration before we move on? And there's 5 people in here. Now there's only, so if you're in here and you haven't told me who you are so that I can acknowledge you, tell me who you are so I can say hello. So far, there's Dimensions of J, there's Oyela, and there's Asonia. Who are the others? Oh, look at that, eh? Who are the others? Yeah, so if that makes sense, let us move on to the 7 principles that govern all of creation. Principle number 1, the law of mentalism, or the principle of mentalism. I call them laws, but they're principles, laws. Either way, you got to commit them to memory. Classy cheeks and Al, hello. It is so good to see you guys. It's very good to see you all. So, the first principle, the principle of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation, which means before something can happen in the outside, it must happen on the inside first. And when I say mind, I'm not talking about your brain. Your brain belongs to the body. The mind is your spirit. And the spirit is what resides inside the body that guides the body to perform certain actions. If you want to get up off the couch, you don't tell your body, get up. No, the desire is, ooh, I want to go to the fridge. So what do you do when you want to go to the fridge? The thought was go to the fridge. You gave a command. You didn't say get up. You said go to the fridge because the desire was whatever you want from the fridge. So in your mind, you said go to the fridge. And what did you do? You got up and you walked to the fridge. Huh. And you opened the refrigerator door. You put your hand in there and you got what it was that you wanted. The all is mind. The universe is mental. It starts in the mind before you see it. Make sense? Principle number 2. Correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. Whatever's on the inside has to correspond or match what is on the outside. We hear it all the time. You reap what you sow. As within, so without. If you planted corn, you cannot get sunflowers because that's not what the seed contained. It contained corn. So, this is why we hear live in the end, according to Neville Goddard. How do you live in the end? If you want to eat strawberries, you don't plant a raspberry bush. You plant strawberries because you want to eat them in the end. That's the end result. You want to reap. So plant according to what you want to reap. But the only way to know what you're going to plant, what do you want? So, as within, so without. That is the law of correspondence. The next law is the law of vibration. Everything moves. Nothing stands still. Nothing stands still. Your thoughts are moving. Put it this way. If things stand still, then creation stops. And creation is happening all the time. There's no exception to that rule. Creation is always happening. Always happening. So everything moves either really fast and you can't see it, or really slow and you can. Scientists are telling you now that what we call matter, this is matter, it appears to be solid because I can hold it. But the truth of the matter is that the matter is moving really, really slow. And that's why you can see it. It's not solid. It's just that it's moving really slow. And the atoms, because they're moving slowly, they're together. They're not even touching, but they're just together so that you can see the form or the shape, right? So when you have a thought, the thought is moving, and the thought is moving, and it has to give shape so you can see it. Right? As within, so without. So you see, everything moves. It moves. Now, here's principle number 4. A lot of people seem to have an issue with this one. Polarity. Now, polarity means 2 things. One is on the left and one is on the right. But they are the same. And all you are doing, because nothing stands still, is you're moving from left to right, or from right to left. Have you heard? Cynthia, darling, what a pleasure it is to see you. All we are doing on any given day, because nothing stands still, is moving from either left to right or right to left. This is what we're doing. Not because the thing on the left is different from the thing on the right. Love and hate. We've all seen the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, have we not? Think about this for a moment. I love you. I really love you. Oh, I have a strong like of you. Oh, I'm kind of liking you. But I have a strong dislike of you. Now, I really, really don't like you. I hate you. You've just moved from love to hate. They are the same. They are the same. Another example of polarity is if you are afraid, fear, and courage. If you say, oh no, I'm so scared. I don't want to. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go anywhere. But then you say, well, I'm courageous. You know what? I'm going to go. But I don't want to. I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go. Yeah, that's it. See, I feel better. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. You're outside. You've moved yourself from fear to courage because nothing stands still. Do you understand? This is polarity. Happiness, sorrow. Yay! Something comes along and it happens. You're like, oh, I'm still happy, but I'm feeling a little bit sad. I'm still feeling a little bit more sad. Oh, I'm sad now. But you can also move yourself from, oh, I don't like what happened. But it's okay. I can overcome this. Everything happens for a purpose. Nothing is permanent, Yeah, you know what? I'm beginning to feel a little bit better. Yeah, I'm watching Golden Girls and I'm laughing and I'm feeling a lot better. And you're happy. You and I, we are constantly moving between 2 things that are the same. That is polarity. Now, the law of rhythm. Remember, because everything moves and it moves between 2 poles. And when something moves between the 2 poles, it creates a rhythm. Yeah? The rhythm creates predictability. Every 28 days, the tide comes in, right? The moon is full and the tide comes in every 28 days. That's the rhythm of the ocean. It's predictable, right? So moving between ebb and flow of the ocean, ebb and flow, the rhythm. There's a rhythm. And because there's a rhythm between those two poles, now you become predictable. Why? You become predictable because every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Now we're on to the law of cause and effect. If you know the cause, you can predict the effect. And if you know the effect, you can create the cause. See? You're never stuck in any situation. And finally, the law of gender, not to be confused with man, woman, boy, girl. Masculine means the projection of a thought, an image, or a word. A projection. You're throwing something out. Okay? That is masculine, to throw something out. Right now, I am throwing something out. I'm throwing my words out to you. Feminine means you accept those words, thoughts, or images. Get it? Now, here's why we get confused sometimes with masculine and feminine, male and female. Masculine and feminine are the invisible. Do you understand? Masculine and feminine are invisible actions. And in order to see the invisible, it has to become visible. So the visible personification of masculine is male. Because the male, this is why creation is always happening. Because as we know, in order to create new life, the male has to project seeds into the womb of the female. That's it. Male, female, that's what that part is. That's the physiological thing that you can see. But masculine is to project. Because that is how creation works. Creation works by the projection of something and the accepting of something. And it is the acceptance of something that gives life to it. Yes, some words are masculine and feminine. Right now, I am the masculine because I'm the one speaking and you are the one listening. So if you're the one listening and taking it in, I have now impregnated you. Thus, now you are feminine and you will give life to what you were impregnated with. Do you understand? That is masculine and feminine. A seed. Now, if you have a sunflower seed, the sunflower seed is masculine. The sunflower seed is masculine. But when you put it into the dirt is feminine because it's going to hold the seed. Right? It's going to hold the seed. And because it is holding the seed, now it has to give life to the seed. But what comes out of the seed and blossoms is masculine. It is a projection of the life from within. Masculine. To lay on the couch is to rest. To rest is feminine. To get up and to go out and do physical labor, you're moving, you are projecting energy outward, you are masculine. So if a woman is pregnant and she's in labor, she's working. That is masculine because she's projecting life out of her body. I trust this made some sense to understand the difference between masculine and feminine, male and female. Those are the 7 principles that govern all of creation. We can't escape it. This is why it's in a circle. It starts with the mind. And whatever's in the mind has to correspond because everything moves. And it moves between 2 poles. And between those 2 poles, you create a rhythm. And that rhythm happens because and effect. And it happens by way of the projection, masculine, and the acceptance. And it takes you all the way right back to thought. So the key is to be the person that projects your own thoughts into your own mind so you can give life to them. Because creation is always happening. So if you are not the one projecting thoughts, let's look at the rest of the world. Let's put it into real world context. You turn on the TV, you open up social media, you're hearing war, rumors of war, you're hearing all these things, food shortage. Ha! When you hear the words food shortage, it does something to you. Why? Because as humans, we need food, shelter, and clothing. So if one of those things is threatened, right, and your survival depends upon it, what happens? We become fearful. A seed of fear has been projected into your mind. You have two choices: accept the seed of fear or reject it. How do you reject that seed of fear? You reject the seed of fear by reminding yourself that as within, so without. And it is my thoughts that create my experience, despite what the rest of the world may see. This is why the scripture tells you you can be in the world, but not of it. Oh, yes, Al, it will be here. It will stay posted. At least it should, to my understanding. um, but does that make sense? Whenever you encounter a seed that is being planted, because there's creation is always happening, there's always a seed being projected, right? So question that seed before you accept it. How do you know what seed is being planted? Well, if what you hear creates calm and peacefulness, well, that might be something you want to accept. But if you have a seed that creates worry, anxiety, angst, fear, is that what you want to recreate in your world? And if it is not what you want to recreate in your world, then plant a seed. Plant a seed of peace. Plant a seed that says, "Whew, it's okay, I understand what's happening here. I understand what's being projected. Well, I'm going to choose based on the experience I want to have. I want to have peace of mind and peace in my body. And because I want to have peace in my mind and peace in my body, that's where I'll put my attention." And that's what you do. You put your attention in that area so that you are the one who plants the seed of peace instead of just willy-nilly accepting the seed of fear within your own life. Because once you plant it, it's hella challenging to dig up. Not impossible, just hella challenging. Because why? We look at challenges and we say, oh no. People say, I've been dealing with this thing for 10 years. So you've been dealing with something for 10 years and you are going to come along and give it 2 minutes and complain if 2 minutes isn't fast enough? The key is hold the image, hold your attention on what it is you want to recreate. Because remember the photocopier. If nothing else, remember the photocopier. Whatever you put on the glass and you hit copy, that is what you will recreate. I want you to consider how beautiful of a thing that is. Think about that for a minute. That you are always given whatever it is that you put your attention to. Whatever you put on the glass is what you put your attention to. And you are always given it. Oh, Cynthia, beautiful question. I'm coming to that. Consider how beautiful of a gift it is that whatever you put on the glass of the photocopier, you get. So think about this. Would you not be more wise with what you put on the photocopier? Put that in the back of your mind and consider it, mull it over. Cynthia asks the question, does it help to shut down those things that trigger your fear, the news, social media, etc.? As within, so without. If there is fear within you, that is the only way fear can be triggered. If there is fear within you already, as within, so without. This is how hypnosis works. This is how hypnosis works. I cannot give you a suggestion that you have not already considered. Think about Hollywood and what they've done with hypnosis. They tell you, the guy says, bark like a chicken. And the people are in a trance and they bark, 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 bark. Those people are the ones who you know they'll do what you tell them without question. They're much more feminine then. They accept suggestion more readily. This is why you hear sometimes people say, well, I can't be hypnotized. It's not that they cannot be hypnotized. Because if you think about it, we're somewhat always in a trance. This is how we take in information. And this is why you're not supposed to be in a trance. You're supposed to be conscious at all times. Because if you are conscious at all times, then nobody can come along and say, bark like a chicken, and you go, bark, bark, bark. Because you're conscious. You can consciously say, well, that's stupid, and you reject it. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So if there is fear within you already, any fear from the outside that is thrown your way will exacerbate or make it worse that's already within you. Is there something to fear? Is there something to fear? Ponder that. Oh, there's danger. You know, I forget where I saw it. I saw it on Instagram. There's the tour guide in the safari, and he's sitting on the chair, and he's got his camera in his hand, and this lion just walks up and just looks right up at him. And so when he turns around, he looks down, he sees the lion, and that's where the video stops. You see, that is danger. That's danger. Because you out there in the bush. That's real danger. Danger means, ooh, fight or flight. But the thing with fear is, fear, let me see if I can paint the picture of it for you. If you've ever seen an Alfred Hitchcock movie, they don't show you the murder. You hear, the knife is coming, and then you hear, and you hear the scream, and it goes to black, right? Why? Because in your mind now, you've taken that seed and you've run with it. You've created every scenario of what you think could possibly happen. That is fear. Where someone can come along and just drop that seed in the fertile mind, and you say, but what if? What is the worst case scenario? What if this could happen? What if that could happen? Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? That is fear. It is not danger. It is not danger. See what I'm saying? Now, do you differentiate the difference between fear and danger? Fear is you. Somebody just has to say, but you know what? There's not enough baby food. And if you are a mother of a brand new baby and you hear there's not enough baby food, what am I going to do? Is my baby going to starve? And then all of a sudden, what little milk you were producing, you stop, because fear overrides milk production. And now you're really in a bind. But they didn't stop your body from producing milk. Your thoughts of what could happen created that chemical response in your body. You are correct, Oyela. And the panic comes along because you know why? Because you can't see. You're blind. You can't see what all the possibilities are. At least with the lion and the danger, you know there's one outcome. He gonna have you for lunch if he wants to. So you know how that ends, right? But if you don't know, this is why we conjure up the worst case scenario. That's what we do. Someone in the class this afternoon said they decided to stop torturing themselves with the worst case scenario. They were using their imagination to create the worst case scenario. And what did that do in their lives? It created worst case scenarios that they then had to experience. And they said, I remembered what you said, Angela, and then I said, okay, I'm done with that. If I can use it to create the worst case scenario, I can use my imagination to create the best case scenario. And that is the law of cause and effect. If you know the effect you want, relief, well, then move yourself from the angst to relief. I'm so, okay, breathe. Okay, it's going to be all right. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. Oh, I can't. It's okay. I got it. I'm going to just take a break. I'm going to watch something that's going to make me laugh. Yeah. Whew. You start laughing. Ooh, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. You've moved yourself from the angst to the relief. That's your power. But people say, well, I tried that. Do you try to breathe or do you breathe every day? I'll wait. You breathe every day, don't you? That's right. So creation is always happening. So you cannot take a break. You see, the body was designed, I told you this before, with habits. There's a reason why habits make you successful. Can you imagine having to get up every single day and learn how to walk all over again? That is counterproductive. You don't get anything done. But what if you could learn to walk at the age of 10 months, 11 months, a year, right? 12 months. You learn to walk there. And then all of a sudden, you're not just walking, but you're running, right? You don't have to think about walking. You just do it. You've committed walking to memory. This is why when something happens, some trauma to the spine, and that person not only forgets how to walk or the pathway for the message to walk has been severed, this is why we have the problem, right? So the body makes you successful. This is why if you form the correct habit, you're always going to be successful because that's the way the body was designed for your success. And not sometimes, but all the time. So that's why when I teach you to commit the laws to memory, there's a reason for that. When you commit the laws to memory, as soon as you get out of bed, you know exactly what kind of thoughts you need to be having. You know that, what do I want to create today? You speak it into existence. Why? Because you know. You don't believe. You know that when you speak it, you've called it forth. And you know that as long as your attention is upon it, it comes. Because you know the law is infallible. This is why you've committed it to memory. So that you don't have to get up every day and have to remember what they are. So you can act upon them. It's like walking, like I told you. You get up in the morning and you throw your legs over that bed and you walk to the bathroom. You walk to the kitchen without a second thought. So, if your second nature thought is, why does this always happen to me? If that's the first thing you think before you even decide what you want to do, it doesn't matter what I try. I never finish anything. I start, but I never finish. I'm such a procrastinator. See those things that are second nature to you? They're only second nature because you've practiced them. And because you are designed for success, you are now a successful procrastinator. Ask me how I know. Hmm. See what I'm saying to you? So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Practice walking. Practice what you say to yourself. Oh man, it doesn't matter what I start, I never finish. I never follow through. And because the law is second nature, that thought doesn't even finish itself in your mind before you say, huh, you know what? It doesn't matter what I start. I always follow through because I'm a quick learner and this is exciting and I want to finish it. That's what you say instead. And then what happens? The more you say that to yourself, now it becomes second nature to you. And now you start things and you finish them. You don't delay, you don't procrastinate because it is your nature now to follow through because you've said, hey, I do follow through. Do you see it? Does that make sense? I know I'm talking a lot. Um, does that make sense to you? Cynthia, I trust I answered your question. I trust that I answered your question. See, here it is. And these questions keep coming in via Twitter and where else they come in from. I'll get to them. I'm not fretting about that. But you see, this is what we do to ourselves. And that's the thing, right? Nobody has to torture you. You do it yourself. We do it ourselves. You cannot get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, "Ugh, I'm so ugly. I hate my life." You cannot get up in the morning and say that and expect to have a fantastic day. How can you? Because as within, so without. So, how do you combat that? Then you look in the mirror, find something about yourself that you like. Oh, believe me, there is something. You just have to look for it. Don't be so quick to judge and go, well, there is nothing. Really? There always is something that you like about yourself. Whether it's the little upturn on the end of your nose, that for me, it's my big brown almond eyes. I love those. I also love my gap. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing about that 5 millimeters because it's my 5 millimeters and I love it. How do I know it's 5 millimeters? My dentist was so kind as to take out her ruler and measure it for me. That's how come I know it's 5 millimeters. And she goes, well, it is too big to close. I said, I never had any plans of closing it. See? So she was coming along to she was trying to impregnate me with the insecurity that my gap is too big and thereby a flaw. And me, I rejected that with the simple response, I never had any intention of closing it. It is lovely to me. You see that? This is how we do these things all day, every day. How am I going to complain about my gap? My mother has one. My grandmother, my great grandmother. It is DNA, folks. It's just the body I'm in. The body that I'm in does not make my character. My character is my responsibility. My body is just my vehicle. You see? Ray of sunshine. Hi. oh yeah, I love my gap too. You see, Reese, hello. Now, you see what you just said there? We are our biggest enemy. How about we are our biggest and closest companion and friend? Do you know why? Because your closest and companion and friend will always steer you straight. Despite what we hear in the world, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Please. Come now. We all know if you believe that your closest friend will betray you, what does the law say? As within, so without. Cause and effect. If you, what do we hear? Plan for the best, but expect the worst. Hello? What? Wait, what? What are you gonna do? What? I can't hear you. You're gonna plan for the best, but expect the worst. What kind of drivel is this? Hmm? Do we do that? Oh, we do. You'd be surprised how many people live by it. And do you know why it is true? Because as within, so without. The law cannot be made a liar of because it is immutable. So if you believe that your best friend will betray you, well, then that's the role you are playing, and you're giving it to them, and they have to betray you. They must betray you. Cause and effect tells you that. If you're expecting them to betray you, you cannot look and see faithfulness because you didn't plant faithfulness. You planted deceit. But I digress. Don't take my word for these things, right? You got to practice these, you got to work it out for yourself. Um, dimensions of J. But this is what I'm saying. We are not the body. Let me validate that. Go to a funeral. Go to a funeral. The body's in the casket. The body dies. The spirit cannot die. So if the spirit cannot die, well then, the spirit is what you are. So whatever is happening to your body remembers. Listen to what we say. Oh, look, I'm practicing so I can have muscle memory. You see, we speak, but we don't, we have ears, okay? We have ears. We have ears to hear. But because we can hear, there's no guarantee that we listen. Huh? We have ears to hear, but there's no guarantee that we listen. You see what I'm saying to you? Listen to what we say every day. We say things like, as a man thinketh, therefore he is. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You see what I'm saying to you? I know the video on here for the thingy will be a little bit, but I'm not fretting about it. I'm not fretting. If my message is lost because you can't see my face, well, you know how it is. You know how it is. Exactly, Oyela. We aren't the body. You can't take anything with you except for the 7 principles of creation. Because they go with you because they're part of your spirit. They go with you. Wherever you go, they go. So it is best to learn them here. All we're doing is remembering them. But then you have to ask yourself the question, why was it necessary for these things to be hidden? Why? Don't get caught up in it. But it's just a question. Why is it important for these things to be hidden from humanity? Remember I told you the law of gender. Creation is always happening. So if you are not the one creating your own experiences, someone else is creating experiences for you to have. There is a thing called sovereignty. Sovereignty. What does that mean, to be sovereign? Merriam-Webster's dictionary says you make decisions for yourself. So if you're making decisions for yourself, we can no longer say, it's my daddy's fault. It's my mom's fault I'm this way. It's my sister's fault I'm this way. Then one is sovereign. We can no longer pull the victim card. We were taught how to be victims. We were taught to seek justice. We were taught punishment and reward. But not once were we ever taught apply the law. Because when you apply the law, you rise above your mere form of flesh and blood. So answer that question. Why is it important that this message be hidden from humanity? Because if I can keep you behaving like an animal, how can you ever be sovereign and walk in your sovereignty and live in your sovereignty and create your own experience? People say, well, what's my purpose? That is your purpose, to remember your sovereignty and walk in it. That is your purpose. Remember your sovereignty and walk in it. That's my role in the world. Hi, Indigo King. That's my role in the world. To remind you. Because this is why I say to you, it is imperative that you commit the principles to memory so that they become second nature, like breathing. And once you commit them to memory, do you think that a famine will stop you? A famine can't stop you because you can create rain. Angela, no, you're being blasphemous. I have no control over the weather. Really? Look it up on DuckDuckGo. There's a man in Bogota, Colombia. The government has been calling on him for quite some years to manipulate the rain. Yeah, he exists for real. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we have that power. But because we hear, well, that sounds like magic. That sounds like masonry. Oh no, Cynthia, you can't hear? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Um, go out and come back in is what I can say. And if you can hear me, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something in the chat so I know that you can hear me. But here's the thing. We have been taught to fear. Oh, well, don't do that. Don't dabble in that, because that's magic. That's the devil. You're going to burn in hell. And what do? We stop exploring. We stop asking questions. And thereby, what happens? We remain the victim instead of being sovereign. I'm just... This is part of why we ask questions. This is why we spend time in silence. But we think if we spend time in silence, we're being lazy. Really? No, when you're spending time in silence, what you're doing is calling up an image in your mind and practicing holding that image and projecting that image and interacting with that image, thereby perfecting your skill of creation. That's what you're doing when you sit there and you say nothing. Mulani, hello. Do you see what I'm saying to you? I was in the car and something said, why don't you come inside? I was in the car in my onesie. Don't judge me. I came in because, I get showered and whatever, but I put on my onesie again because it's so comfy, right? And it's soft. And something said to me, why don't you come in and do a YouTube live stream? And I said, okay. So I came in and I brushed out my hair and I put it up and I put on my blue dress and put my blue flower in my hair. And I said, okay, as much as I don't like being on camera, because I don't, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'll be fine. And so I did it. When the still small voice that you hear in your head speaks to you. Now, don't be silly, right? Let me validate this. The still small voice. How do you know it's speaking to you? You will hear, do this or do that. And you'll say, okay, I'll go do that. And you'll go do it and you'll say, oh boy, I'm glad I did that. Look at how good it turned out. But if you hear the still small voice and you say, I don't want to, I'm not going to do it. And you don't do it. And then you don't do it, but then something happens and you go, oh man, I should have done it. I should have listened. The still small voice only has one focus: to make you successful. It's never going to hurt you, nor will it ever hurt someone else. You understand me? Just saying. So when you hear the still small voice, listen. Listen to it. And as my father always says, taste your words before you speak. Taste it. See what it feels like to you. What is it asking? Is it harmful to you? Is it harmful to someone else? No. Well then, follow through with the directive. But most of us are afraid. Oh yeah. Because I've always been camera shy. I'll talk all day if you give me a microphone. But you know how it is. But over time, I've had to accept. If somebody cannot get past what I look like so that they can hear the message, well, then the message isn't for them. I can't help what I look like. This is my DNA and this is my body. And so that's how I've had to talk to myself. So once I move and I set up my recording space, I'm gonna be look, you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me. I'm gonna just say that, right? But yes, this is what I want you to get a hold of, is the beauty of the law. Because you can't be around the law and stay the same. It changes you from a cellular level. It changes you from a cellular level. It does. All the way out. See, because as within, so without. So when it changes you from a cellular level, you begin to see that on the outside. People come out and say, oh my God, you glowing. That's what I'm talking about, right? It changes you from a cellular level. From the inside out is where it changes you from. Oh, wow, there's 13 people up in here? Whew. I shouldn't have looked at the time. Y'all are patient with me. If there's a question regarding those 7 principles and a scenario where you want to apply it, ask me now. You guys can scroll backwards and find the link to submit your phone number for WhatsApp if you want to sign up for mentorship. I actually do have this course on Udemy, but I know that people prefer to come online live and learn it that way. So, I mean, either or. You can use either or. You can do the Udemy class or you can do here, whichever you choose. But I don't want to keep you any longer. You see, I want you to, what's the word here? If you have a question, ask. There's no judgment, there's no stupid questions, because this is how we learn. We learn by asking. We learn by experimentation. So here's an exercise for you on how you can test the power of your mind. Just simply think about something you love. Whether it's a color, a flower, it doesn't matter. Think about something you love, you truly enjoy. If it is a rose, bring up that rose in your mind. Touch that rose, smell that rose. And if the image of the rose should fade, meaning you've been distracted, just breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Do that and allow the body to stay calm, you see? And bring the image back. Because what you're doing, as I've told you before, the longer you can sustain the image in your mind, the faster you will see it come into your existence for you to experience. This is how we manifest all day, every day. This is the beauty of manifestation. And your emotions, I'll say it here. Your emotions, you get to choose those. Well, how do you get to choose your emotions? By deciding what you want to experience. If you say, today is a great day, I expect to have laughter and joy and peace of mind in my world. Because why? You've practiced holding that feeling of peace of mind. You've been holding it and practicing it. So now when you say, let there be peace of mind, well, there is. So what kind of emotions go along with peace of mind? Calm, ease, happiness, joy. You get to choose your emotions. Choose them because they go along. They have to match what is within. So if you choose contention and arguing and fighting, and I wish somebody would, oh, I have time today. If you choose that, what kind of emotions go along with that? Well, you're going to have an argument. If you're driving down the street and I can't stand George. George makes me so upset. How dare he? Somebody gonna cut you off in traffic and you'll be honking the horn. And then whenever you get to your destination, you're going to encounter either George or somebody just like George, so you can argue with them because you had the argument in your head. You doubt me? Check yourself, because you do it. How do I know? This is experience talking. And the same way you can have the argument is the same way you can have a pleasant conversation. You can say to George, George, it's so good to see you today. You know what? Have a blessed day today. I thought about you today. Yeah, have a blessed day. Enjoy your day, George. What if you said that? Well, now when you see George, George will be so amicable and pleasant. And George will say, well, hi, it's so good to see you. And you'll be like, is George on crack? Did he take his medication today? That's what you'll think. But it wasn't the medication. It was you who made George what he was. Oh, snap. Look at the power you hold. And it's not, now here's where the law is most beautiful. You can, if you want to wield your newfound power and beat people into submission, let me tell you something. As within, so without. You want to take advantage of somebody? Because you are holding that, you don't have a choice but to be taken advantage of. Oh, see how the law works? Keeps everybody honest. It does not punish, nor does it reward. It simply keeps you in line. So you can either be in line consciously, or you could be forced into alignment unconsciously and complain that, how come life never goes my way? Life is going exactly your way because it's what you have inside that you are recreating on the outside. So life is going your way. see that. So what are you going to do today? Practice the art of sitting in the silence and holding an image, something you find pleasant. Trust me, if you hold something unpleasant, well, you already know how that goes, don't you? Because you know the law of correspondence, as within, so without, every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. So this is why when you practice, hold something good in mind and see how long you can hold it. Can you hold it for a minute? Well, look, we all have phones, or we all have the watch. I don't. Right? Set it for 1 minute. Can you hold that image for 1 minute without it fading because you've been distracted? And if you can hold it for 1 minute, can you hold it for 2? We'll set the timer and find out. See how long you can hold the image for. Because once you can hold the image and interact with it, then voila, you will experience it in your real world. I don't make the rules. I live by them. See how it works? So, if there aren't any questions, if there are no questions, my beautiful friends, go forth and enjoy the remainder of your evening. Enjoy it to the fullest. You created it, so you might as well enjoy it. Don't create something to complain about. Create something to enjoy. Oh, but Angela, that's so easy for you to say. Is it? What, you think I don't practice? Let me tell you something. I practice all day, every day. And the more I teach, the more I learn. And the more I learn, the more I practice. And the more at peace I become. I'm just saying. This is how it is. So, if there aren't any questions, my beautiful friends, let me see. Let me give some shout outs to everybody who's in the space. Sonia, if you're still here, thank you. Oyela, thank you for being here. And as I say, there's those 2 links you can, and I just tell people, donate what moves you. Some people do $1, some people do 5, some people do 10. It's a monthly donation because I'm always here for you, especially in WhatsApp. That's why the other link is there for your phone number, because in WhatsApp, that's where I get the questions, and I record the answer for the questions in the whole group so that people, because they all have the same question, and I walk you through it so that you know what you're doing, so that once you've graduated, you don't need me. Right now, you don't even need me. I'm just here to remind you of what you've got. Oh, snap. Let's see. Dimensions of J, thank you for being here. Classy Cheeks, I've missed you. Thank you for being here as well. Al, thank you. Cynthia, darling, thank you for being here. Reese and Ray of Sunshine, thank you for being here. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Oh, Mulani, thank you for being here as well. And I will do my best to, like I say, once I get set up in my new space sometime next week, by July 1st, I should be up and running in my space, right? And we'll be on here. You are so welcome, my friends. You're so welcome. And I look forward to seeing you again soon, live on YouTube. All right. Much love. Much love. Let me drop some hearts in here before we go. I don't even know how I drop hearts. I go in here. I haven't used it in so long. Search the emojis. Hearts. And we can do these kisses. Yeah. Indigo King, look at you. I almost forgot because I didn't see your name. Thank you for being here. Indigo King, thank you. Yes. And that's it. That's all she wrote, my beautiful friends. That's all she wrote. Much love. Sonia. Thank you. Thank you. Who inspires me? The law. I get up every morning and I'm just like, I'm ready. It's just what I do. Yeah. But thank you. Like I say, feel free to drop me a line. Just drop me a line if you've got questions, okay? I'll be around. And I do get back to people right away. All right. Love you guys.